That's a bit better. That's probably working now a bit. But this morning we saw the sort of pre-round of 16, which took place for the men's events. Basically, how the format is working is that there were certain teams that needed to play to get into the round of 16, and now we've got the start of the round 16. And how the entire sort of format works, the entire weekend works, it's pretty brutal, to be honest. In that, first of all, we need to get our flipping team names right, don't we? But it's pretty brutal in that if you lose, you're out. You're done. You know, you will play other matches this weekend, but you will not be able to contend for the Rugby World Cup Sevens title once if you lose a match. So you have to go undefeated. That's sort of the big takeaway, isn't it? That if you want to go all the way, you have to go undefeated. So it's a pretty stiff ask for any team, and the first round of 16 match will be between England and Ireland, and just a bit of a moment there for England before the match as they pay their respects to the Queen, well, the Queen Elizabeth, who passed away yesterday, last night. And we do have kickoff, which means the men's round of 16 is underway. And so earlier, it's a good take there from Ireland. Just trying to get my, there we go, get my TV nice and sorted. Ireland had to win this morning to get through to this stage, so weren't automatically qualified for the round of 16. And then now face England, and a lot of these players would have played with each other a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago even, were playing in the Commonwealth Games as Great Britain. So, yeah, now sort of separated into their own sort of teams, and I think Ireland could do a potential job here. And they don't play as many tournaments as they'd like, but they're doing very well down inside here. And he's got the pace, and he's been bundled down to touch. It looked like a promising run there from Jordan Conroy. And I've got my all sorted. Make sure my scoreboard and everything was working, which it does seem to be. So Emery will be throwing the ball into the line-out here.
Hi. Thanks for turning up.
Right, England now trying to attack from deep. It's a good wraparound from Emery. As England get up towards the halfway line. But it's a really good contest at the breakdown. It's a penalty against Andrew Smith, and quickly taken. Really good angle being run there. Solid hit on Charlton Kerr there. And it's a knock-on from the quick tap, so we're going to have to retake that again. Pretty nice start so far, though. Pretty high tempo, which is what you like to see. As I said, a brutal format, so you can't afford to slack off. You slack off for a moment, you could see any sort of points early on, and suddenly you're under huge pressure because one loss rather, and you're out of the competition. So no space for any sort of slip-ups, and I mean it's a big task because you know once you sort of get to the round 16 quarterfinals, seven's a strange game. You know, you can see two early tries, for example. You have to bad start, and suddenly you might be slipping away, and you could have the favorites. You know, a Fiji, a Blitzbox, a New Zealand, and one poor start, and that could take them out of the running for the World Cup. So it's a very brutal format. Whether it's a good format or not, we'll wait and see. But so far, we've had some very good rugby. I really enjoyed I think it was Ireland versus Brazil game earlier, the women's game, which was very good. With the back of the scrum, here comes Ireland. Kennedy trying to get around the outside. And Conroy there adding a bit of support, but England are doing a lot of work at the breakdown there. It is a penalty for Ireland, though. Play on. Kennedy has taken it quickly. Ireland almost getting into England half. Now running quickly around the line. They go very wide. And they've still got an overlap here. Smith cuts inside. Smith's trying to find a bit of space. Cuts back on the outside. It's eventually brought to ground. Just short of the 22. So Ireland making some good progress here. Kennedy comes back inside. And they work it back towards the right. And almost through there was Alex Davis. Sorry, Harry McNulty rather. Good ball retention so far from Ireland. Just trying to find a bit of space. The Lennox is just drifting towards the left. Conroy cuts back inside. Long ball back to top. They asked Jack Kelly to try and get on the outside there. Show and go. Goes himself. Gets up with a few meters short. And it's a penalty for Ireland just short of the try line. McNulty with ball in hand. Tap and go. And they go, oh my living. That is really, really poor. The idea was there with nobody on the same wavelength. And Sam Smith, I mean, it's not Sam Smith. Andrew Smith wasn't quite on the same wavelength. We were expecting the pass, which is going straight into touch. Okay, I'll take it all back. It came off the play of the hand of an English player, so it will be a scrum to Ireland. No, it is out. Yeah, it is out. So it wasn't there. I thought it looked like it was a hand in. Ball over the top from England, from Emery. Good one in there from Will Homer. Will Homer's through. He's got all the pace, though. Needs support. Throws a 50-50 pass. That's well cut out there by Terry Kennedy. Now I'm looking to hit back. They're back inside their own half. Smith's got Jordan Conroy on the outside of him. Slow ball, but clean ball for Ireland. A long pass out wide to the left. Drifting around his Lennox, trying to find a bit of space. Now they're cutting inside. Haven't been very direct so far, though, have Ireland. So struggling to really go over the advantage line. But remaining patient. Now there's the break. There's the break that's needed. Harry McNulty's through. Harry McNulty's through. And he's got the pace. He's got the pace. He'll go all the way. And Ireland will open the scoring. Well, I mean, I don't think England have touched the ball yet. And Ireland remaining patient. Trying to find a bit of space. Eventually the opportunity fell. It's a fantastic break. You can see he just puts the pedal to the metal down. And as soon as he puts it down, England defense caught napping a little bit there. Jamie Barden who slipped that tackle. And it's right under the poles as well. So 7-0 start here for Ireland early on in the half. Just over 1 minute remaining in the first half. So if they can get down to half time with a 7-point lead, I think they'd be very chuffed with this. England much more the favourites coming into this game. And I think also what you do get this morning, if you did have to play that qualifier, is a little bit of an opportunity to warm up, to get yourself sort of up to speed. And Ireland so far definitely looked the brighter of the two teams. It's a very big restart, and there's a knock-on from England. So Ireland have retained possession off the kickoff. Now looking to bring defence into attack. Inside cuts in Jordan Conroy. So pretty industrious so far as the number 7. Now they've got men on the outside. Skip pass goes to nobody though, so lost a little momentum in the attack. Kennedy just drifting around looking for the offload. That's a nice strong carry there, but it's a very well won penalty on the ground. I think that's the captain there from England. Here's Tom Bowen. England have finished second at the past 2 Rugby World Cup 7s. So a team that really do come into their own in this tournament. And this would be a massive upset if they were to exit in the round of 16. Right, so it's a scrum for England deep inside the territory. They'll be looking to try and score the back here and try and go into halftime on even terms. Ireland just want to hear the halftime whistle. Messy scrum, but England do break from it. Big good counter back there at the breakdown. And Ireland have won a penalty. So it'll be Ireland who'll have the final say in the first half. I think I'll take a tap here. Mark Roche assessing his options. Barking out what looks like a preset move. And now I've got buffering, which is the last thing I need right now. This is what happens with bloody load shedding. Oh, come on, man. Get my stream back up. waiting for the stream to come back up. This is exactly what's needed. And it's just buffering when we got to adverts. I think halftime they're down in Cape Town. So 7-0 remains. Ireland with the first half advantage. And not probably what we expected to see, actually. But so far looking very promising from Ireland. England pretty much had no possession. We look at some of the stats there. Ireland with an 81% win probability. But England just need ball in hand at the moment. They've had very little opportunity to attack Ireland. And Ireland... look, I suppose you can't concede tries if you had the ball. So from their perspective, it's basically just to keep doing what they're doing. But England can't afford to panic. It is one try, so an early try in the second half does sort that out. But Ireland could potentially be one half away from a historic victory and a place in the quarterfinals tomorrow. France versus Canada up. We won't be live for that match. We will be live a little bit later for a couple of other matches. So just check the channel to see exactly which games we will be live. Obviously, Forever Rugby, things will carry on as usual. So there'll be live trackers throughout the afternoon. So there'll be all the matches will be covered, and we'll be jumping in and out of watch-alongs as the afternoon goes. Mark Roach with ball in hand goes towards the right-hand side of the pot, gets things back underway for the second half. And Ireland have retained the possession, so the good start just keeps getting better. Long pass out wide. Kennedy just drifting back towards the right, more towards the support. Now back to Conroy from Kelly. Conroy has carried very well, it must be said. Now Ireland, long passes out to the left. Mark Roach there. Out towards the 5 meters, good carry there by Roach. Now Kennedy just drifting. And Smith goes very direct. It's available for Ireland as well. This is really good stuff from Ireland. Lennox, long ball over the top to Roach. Roach steps inside. Will he be able to find it? Oh, well, that's a brilliant finish. The physicality, Mark Roach, a player more sort of known for his creativity than his physicality and his strength. But, I mean, that's a fantastic finish. Rode the hit, remained patient, and then just managed to twist away and dives over. But this all comes down from the kickoff. Being able to retain your kickoff, put the pressure immediately back on England, who've had next to no possession so far. And Ireland... Well. Could we be seeing the first shock of the tournament at just 3 o'clock on day 1 of 3 finals all taking place on Sunday? So it's a very different format to what we're used to because there are, some of these teams are playing one match a day, which is quite strange. For example, if you make it to the semi-finals, you would have played one match on Friday, one match on Saturday, and 2 matches on Sunday. That's if you want to win the Rugby World Cup. Your 4 matches to win if you made it to the round of 16. So for Ireland, for example, they have to play 5 because they have to play in the pre-round of 16. But about 5 minutes, and once again, Ireland are just changing the point of attack and going towards the right. This time, England do take the kickoff. Right, first we'll be opportunity for England to get into Ireland's half. I don't even think the possession territory-wise has been in Ireland's half. And Ireland now need to defend. That's a really nice tackle, but it's a good support play there from Alex Davis. He's caught in the ball, looking for support, trying to find an offload. Eventually gets down to ground. Good ruck work there being done by Tom Bowen. But having said that, it's a brilliant penalty being won by Ireland. I thought that the player had been removed, but managing to hold on. And I think there's a word there, so a yellow card as well to Alex Davis. So everything just working for Ireland so far. Man in the bin as well, a penalty, and 1 try here, and that could almost be England buried, which would not be part of the plan. They're going to take the scrum as well. Makes sense, the man overlap. 2 minutes in the bin. This could be the difference for Ireland. 12 points to 0 is the lead. Right, Ireland are breaking down the blind side. They've got numbers. They've got numbers. They've got numbers. He holds onto the ball. He gives it to Conroy. And Conroy is over. England could be going out here. Ireland are over for their third. And they want to hurry up because they want to try and use the one-man advantage. But all of a sudden, 17-0 with this conversion to come. I mean, a yellow card and a scrum in sevens. And as soon as they go down the blind side, it's a 3-on-2 match anyway. He throws the long ball out to Conroy, who just holds his line, goes over in the corner, absolutely untouched. Small celebration, but job not quite done yet for Ireland. And the conversion well off to the right. So 17-0 is how it will remain. Just over 3 minutes to play. Right, 3 minutes between Ireland and a quarterfinal. England have to score next. If they don't score next, they are probably out of the Rugby World Cup sevens. 2 finals before this. They might not even make a quarterfinal at this rate. Once again, sloppy. Oh, and Conroy was away. But this time, it's a penalty against Ireland and a yellow card. So Ireland losing a player now. And it's Jack Kelly. So it's 6-on-6 for a bit. But with 11 seconds left before Davis arrives, this could be the opening for England that they need. They need to score 3 times and convert twice. They will be playing against a 6-man Ireland side for most of the remainder of the match. But if they are to really sort of take advantage of it, they need to score quickly. A bit of a slip there. And a penalty for England. And they're off. Quick tap and go, but another slip up towards the halfway line. Now going towards the right. They're running their hands. They have a man overlap, but they let him come down the angle. The ball comes a bit loose, and the ball gets thrown back. And I think there's a knock-on there. So the 2 knock-ons here. I think it is an England ball. But even that's not exactly what they want. With a minute and a half, just over a minute and a half to go, don't really have the time to waste with the scrum. Right, officially less than a minute and a half remaining. 17-0 for Ireland. This would be a massive victory for them. England go towards the left. They've got a one-man overlap. They need to straighten a little bit and create some space. So Davis is back on the park. Davis carrying up towards 22. But it's a brilliant turnover from Ireland. That could be enough, you know. They go to the left. I think it's Davis has stayed down, but it's a brilliant run here down for Ireland, all the way up to England territory. It will be an England penalty for holding on. They won't mind that they were Ireland. Charlton Kerr trying to find some territory. But Ireland so far defensively holding up well, keeping England by the halfway line with 40 seconds to go. Ireland are basically through to the quarterfinals. No advantage as well. Stoppage in play because there is an injury. I think it's Alex Davis who's down. Katie should be able to come back on quite soon for Ireland, so they should be back to a full contingent. England haven't been able to take advantage with 40 seconds left. Ireland have done it basically. Not even basically, they have. England's definitely not scoring 3 tries in 40 seconds. But what a performance! And the first sort of very big name has gone down. A potential favourite, though, England coming into this tournament, along the likes of your New Zealand's, Fiji's, South Africa. But Ireland have absolutely outclassed them so far in this round of 16 clash. And England are 40 seconds from going out in the very first round for them. But this doesn't look good for Davis. There's a golf cart coming on. So he will leave in a stretcher. as Davis leaves the field on the stretcher. Not the way you want to go, and just, I mean, he's only one match in the tournament. It looks like he will play. I mean, how incredible is? I mean, how brutal is this format? You know, England have played in 2 finals before. They fly all the way down here. They get ready. They get hyped. All the pre-match, pre-week stuff, ready for the World Cup. You turn up for your first game, you lose, and you're done. You still play matches, but you cannot win the tournament. You're into the bowl. Dead rubber game is now ready for you. And for a side that would have come here wanting to try and compete, wanting to try and potentially go all the way, absolute disaster for them to exit in the first stage. But yeah, like you come down the right. This is much better play. Randall, they're getting up almost towards past 22. Now there's lots of space if they can use it down the left. 13 seconds left. And he's going down the left. Charlton Kerr, well, he gets away from one. He'll come inside. He'll score a try. But it's a consolation. There's 2 seconds left. And that's it. There might be a restart, but it's not enough. It is not enough. England are out of the World Cup. Well, there it is. There it is. England are out. Ireland are through. Well, it must be said, they deserved victors there are Ireland. I mean, that's a massive result for them. And for England to be out already, it's not gone particularly well for them. Not the way they would have wanted to begin their tournament. Because, as I said, one bad game and they're already out. And we're already moving into the next game. So we're going to be, we won't be doing a watchalong here. We'll be back in about an hour's time to do New Zealand versus Scotland. Up until then, we're going to have France and France and Canada. And so don't go away if you're on Forever Rugby. We'll have that live for you on Forever Sports. We'll be back in an hour's time, set for the New Zealand versus Scotland game. Scotland getting through this morning in the pre-round of 16. So yeah, please make sure you smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel on the way out. And we will see you guys all in about an hour's time for Scotland versus New Zealand.